أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله حق حمده والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعه بإحسان إلى يوم الدين سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم سبحانك لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي وأفوض اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا وقلبا خاشعا ولسانا ذاكرا وشاكرا وتوبة نصوحا اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من علم لا ينفع وقلب لا يخشع ودعاء لا يسمع وعمل لا يرفع ونفس لا تشبع رب زدني علما وفهما وألحقنا بالصالحين رب يسر ولا تعسر رب تمم بالخير لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My respected brothers and very respected sisters and all the brothers and sisters over the net, Jazakumullahu khairu jaza for joining us this evening at this beautiful masjid in this beautiful cold Melbourne weather. The place is freezing. Inshallah air conditioning will be working probably next week and we will have heated nice warm place tomorrow. So inshallah I was also asked to cut today short a little bit, to talk a bit shorter today for about an hour because we haven't got much disk space left, and as well as this place is very cold, we don't want people to get sick. So inshallah, also we started a bit late, we apologize because both of our technical staff, plan A and plan B, all fell ill today. So plan C, contingency plan, alhamdulillah, managed it. We have done it. We're back on air again, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, put barakah into our learning today, inshallah. We went through the second fard of the 54 fara'id last week. We're going through the 54 fara'id of Imam Hassan al-Banna, qaddasallahu sirrahu al-aziz. And the second fard last week that we discussed thoroughly, I think we have not left anything out, was the second fard upon every single Muslim was to wear only halal clothing. Only halal clothes. And we have defined what clothing meant a Muslim should wear and the harams of it and halals of it. We looked at it, inshallah, and we touched upon many issues that is relevant to our lives today that a Muslim should understand and learn. And inshallah today we intend to go through the third fard according to our list of 54 fara'id that you should all have a copy of it, is to make wudu when it is required. To make wudu when it is required. It is a topic that majority of us, alhamdulillah, know many things about. So inshallah I will not be going through in detail of the fiqhi masail of wudu, but I will touch upon certain issues and concentrate on the actual concept of the fada'il of wudu. I want to encourage to, inshallah, for us to be in a state of wudu at all times. Firstly, wudu is an act that must be performed. And it is fard to perform when you want to do an act of worship which requires wudu to do. It becomes fard for a person to perform wudu when the following act that is requires as a prerequisite wudu. For example, you can't do your salat without wudu. It is absolutely haram. If you do salat without wudu deliberately, according to the four schools of thought, that person becomes a kafir. Very dangerous. Recently, I was speaking to one of the teachers of one of the Islamic schools. He says, one of the things that I did was a survey when I came into the school. He says, I was shocked and dismayed and astonished. The survey results, they didn't have to write their names. 85% of the youth at the school were doing their salat without wudu. Deliberately, knowingly. And actually, perhaps out of ignorance. They did not know. And they were doing their wudu, they were doing their salat without wudu. If a person deliberately prays without wudu, that person is a munafiq, is a person who just left Islam. Because he has turned the status of haram, prayer without wudu is haram, into prayer without wudu is halal. Nobody has the right to change a status of haram into halal or halal into haram. Deliberately. When you do this, you become a non-Muslim, a kafir. Just letting you know, straight to your face, straight to it, because we need to know this. Sometimes when we are lazy in the morning, when our parents wake us up for Fajr, and we think that they're not watching, you go to the bathroom and let the water run a little bit, water, and pretend that you made wudu, and in front of them just go up and down for what you call 10, 15 seconds, pretending to pray. You're playing with fire. You can never joke with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is better for you to say, I am lazy and I can't pray, than try to play games with a ruling of Sharia. This is very dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. So, wudu is an act, a fard act, must be performed when there is an act, another ibadah, which requires it as a prerequisite. An act. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 7, actually verse 6, depending on which Quran you look at, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the following, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين. صدق الله العظيم. O you who believe, Muslims, Allah was not asking the non-Muslims. Non-Muslims don't have to make any wudu. This is for the Muslims. O you who believe, when you rise up to do your salat, any salat that is, wash your faces and your hands as far as the elbows and wipe your heads, make masah on your heads and wash your feet to the ankles. 4 fard components of wudu is clearly spelled out in this particular ayah of the Quran. There is no way out. Brother, I like washing every part of my wudu except my feet. I made the wudu this morning and I put my beautiful clean socks made out of cotton. Is it permissible for me to just wipe over the socks? We'll come back to it in a minute. We'll come back to it in a minute. Many of the discussions on adab, the sunan, the wajibat and the fara'id of wudu is thoroughly discussed and explained in our fiqh books. You should get a hold on to one of those books, whatever madhab, whatever school of thought that you're following, whether you're Hanafi, Shafi'i, Maliki or Hanbali, one of the 4 schools that you follow, and inshallah just stick to one of them and you do your wudu properly. No mixing and matching. According to ulama, talfiq, taking some from here, taking from some from there, and combining into one particular action of ibadah is not permissible. I'll do my washing according to of my face according to Shafi'i, wash feet according to my Maliki, and arms according to Hanbali, and the head according to the what they call Hanafis. This is not acceptable. You have to stick to one particular set of rules in a particular package of ibadah. There is no mixing. So the fara'id of wudu differs a little bit from school of thought to school of thought. According to the Hanafis, there are only 4 components which are fard, which is just explained in the ayah of the Quran, where you must wash your face once from where the hair starts, if you have hair, that is. If you're not, just your forehead, and just your face once, just once is fard. Secondly, to wash your right and left arm once, including the elbows, once with running water, so to speak, is fard. Second. Third is to make a quarter of your head, masih, is also fard. Once, wiping only once. And to wash both feet, including ankles, is also fard. This is the Hanafi school. Every other ones that you do 3 times, starting from the right, and there are sunnats and there are some adabs. Yes, no problem. According to Shafi'i school of thought, there are actually 6 fard components. First is to make intention. Intention in Shafi'i, Imam Shafi'i, according to Imam Shafi'i, it's fard to do so. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. This is their foundational hadith as their dalil. Nothing, no ibadah is accepted unless it is accompanied by a proper intention. And the other 4 that we just mentioned, that is your face and your arms and wiping off the head. Their wiping is actually also, definition is different. The ba, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ, the ba in front of ru'usukum denotes that it could be any part. It could be just as a little bit, just a little touching. That's why some people just touch on the head, just the root here. Khalas. That's required. I mean, that fulfills the requirement. Okay, according to Shafi'i school of thought. And of course the feet, that makes it 5. 6 is you must follow the order. You must follow the order, tartib. One after another. You can't just do feet and then the head, then the left arm and the right arm, then go back. No, it must be in an order. And the next one, which makes it 7, is to do things in succession without a break in between. So you can't just wash your face and go and watch television for 5 minutes and come back. Got the important bits in the stock market, and come back and wash the other arm. It must be done in quick succession without having a gap in between. This is Shafi'i. Imam Shafi'i's school. We all accept, because I had to explain this because quite a large percentage of our Jama'ah also followers of Imam Shafi'i, rahimahullah. Therefore, we also respect whatever you're following, you must know the basics. So I'm not going to go into the details of everything else, but there are certain pertinent points that I want to bring into your attention, which many of the people today, when they're learning about wudu from the books, they do not learn properly. And once you make a bad habit of not practicing wudu properly, it is stuck onto you as a habit until the day you die. And no wonder sometimes you don't get any feeling in your salat because your wudu is incomplete, not properly done. The first one is istinja. The second one is called istibra. 2 words, technical terms. Istinja is the actual Muslim habit, compulsory habit of washing oneself after we relieve ourselves in the toilet. We must cleanse ourselves absolutely well until our heart is content that the area concerned is thoroughly cleansed. We live in a day and age in a country where plenty of water available. Just wiping it with a paper does not make it clean. You need to wash it. But if you are in the mountain somewhere, stuck in the bush somewhere, then different rules apply. You can use stones, you can use something else, except for perhaps bones, except for some other materials that the Sharia prohibits for valid reasons. Okay? But you must make istinja. In every Muslim house, there must be a tahara bottle. I get the shock of my life when I go to some practicing Muslim house, and then yet there is not a single thing to wash themselves with when you go to the bathroom. You need to have a tahara bottle, and you need to wash yourself after your toilet, number one or number two. And you must wash yourself with left hand, not right hand. Islam is such a beautiful religion, a complete religion. It caters for every single need, and it covers every single aspect of human life. Going to toilet is part of the religion, yes. And cleansing yourself after toilet is also part of the religion, yes. Because our deen is deen of cleanliness. At-tuhuru shatrul iman, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says. Cleanliness is part of the religion, half of the religion. An-nadhafatu min al-iman. Cleanliness, hygiene is half of the religion, part of the religion. Okay, we made our istinja properly, and we washed and dried ourselves with the relevant toilet paper and what have you. Now what do we do? Rush to the bathroom and make wudu quickly? No. The adab is to perform what is called istibra. Inna Allah la yastahi min al-haq. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never shies away from telling the truth. There is no taboo subject in Islam. You can discuss everything within manners and within adab. There is not a single subject that concerns human life where you shy away. You discuss it within adab. Somebody came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a lady. In one case she asked, Ya Rasulullah, the thing that happens to men, does it also happen to women? And in that case, are they allowed to, or are they supposed to make ghusl? Aisha radiallahu anha is sitting next to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She defined, if a woman has also a wet dream, does she have to make ghusl? Aisha radiallahu anha went pink, blue, red in the face. He says, you really put shame on women. What kind of a question is that? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam turned to her and said, Ya Aisha, Allah is never and ever shy from telling the truth. Speaking the truth, haqq. Allah does not shy away from telling the truth. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam answered the lady according to her fiqh. Yes, if there is wetness in her panty, then definitely she needs to make ghusl. Explains. Another woman come and ask Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, he says, my bleeding doesn't stop. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says the same thing, and he says, there must be one of your jidar. One of the walls has maybe a vein that is not working properly. Therefore you have a sickness, you have a condition, you have an excuse. These are the following rules for those people of uzr, of excuse. Therefore follow the following. So there is not a single subject you cannot discuss in Islam. Anything and everything within manners, within adab, within etiquette. So toilet, brother, that's very private. There's no such thing as private. when it comes to Islam. You're not private. Everything is discussed within adab. Adab is the key word. So once we come out of the toilet, we did everything right, cleansed everything. Can we rush to making wudu? No. You need to make istibra. Istibra is, according to our ulama, they define istibra as the act of waiting and performing certain acts that will ease your body so that last drops of urine that remain in the pipes, they are released. Because your body is relaxed, everybody's piping system is different. Some people have continuous running, some people don't have any problem as such. So what do you have to do? Walk for 40 steps. Sit up and down, try to pretend to cough so that your body releases the last bits. So what do you do, brother? It'll be dropping onto my pants. Yep, Andy, be careful. Therefore, get a large or small toilet paper. Just put in the affected area and wait. Walk a little bit. Do not rush into making wudu first. So you wait a little bit. Okay, after a minute, 2 minutes, depending who you are, walk for a while, your body relaxes, and come back and check it. Walk back into the bathroom and make sure that there is not a single drop. But there is no water, there is no paper, brother, what do I do? With your finger, left hand, touch. Make sure that if there is wetness, make sure that you don't touch your hand to anything else afterwards until you wash it properly. Your hand properly. Then if there is nothing, okay, you go and wash your hands and make wudu. But if there is still coming, water still coming through, urine is still coming through, that means you have to go back to the toilet and really wash again, because your tahara is not complete. Istibra. Very important. As you grow older, it becomes a problem. As a young man, you think that your pipes are all perfect. Don't worry about it for the time being. Yes, as you grow older, it becomes a problem. But nonetheless, this particular knowledge is a knowledge that you must have. Otherwise, you rushed into making wudu. Oh, alhamdulillah, and caught the jama'ah. And all of a sudden you feel some wetness onto your pants. Andy, then you realize that actually it smells like urine too. I dried everything up. How come that wetness? Where's that coming from? That's urine. In other words, you prayed without wudu. Your wudu is not there because it was leaking. Therefore, you need to make your istibra properly. Very important. Also, when we walk into the bathroom, adab. You need to read your proper du'as. Enter into the bathroom with your left foot. What do we have to say? It's written on every Muslim house near the toilet door. Beautiful handwriting, calligraphy, but nobody reads it. Only the first day they read, and after that your eyes get used to it, you ignore it, you don't even see it. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubthi wal-khaba'ith. Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from the male and female devils, the jinn kind. They see us, we don't see them. One of the most laughing moments, the happiest, the funniest moment for jinn kind and the shaitan kind is when you expose your private parts to them. When you take your pants off, they start laughing. They say, look, they keep on laughing. But the moment you say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, when you read this dua, their eyes are completely veiled. They can't see you. They can't look at you. So you don't give that chance to them. That's their favorite hangout place, especially jinn children. So we need to recite the dua. This is our belief. If you don't believe in it, that's your story. You go and cry to yourself. But we believe in this. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam teaches us. We walk into the toilet with our left foot with the dua, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubthi wal-khaba'ith. Very simple. And we sit. No hosing, no standing. Sit. And lean towards the left. This is adab, sunnah. Did you know? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam even teaches us how to sit in the toilet. We do everything nicely. Let it go. Relax. MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. Such a great ni'mah. Once all the toxic wastage is unloaded, completely gone away from us, our body, alhamdulillah, regains its health. So once you do istinja and cleanse yourself, you come out with the right foot and thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. غفرانك الحمد لله الذي أذهب عني الأذى وعافاني. Oh Allah, thank you. Please forgive me for my shortcomings. And I thank you for taking this toxic waste out of me and reinstating my health back to me, Ya Rabbi. Thank you, O Allah. It's an act of worship. Ibadah. Ibadah. When you want to make wudu, after you did your istinja properly, you must sit at a high place.